Hello guys, welcome back to Stevo Runs, a channel created for like-minded people looking to become fitter, healthier people. If that sounds like you, leave a subscribe button below. Let's go on our running journeys together. Right, so London training in full swing. The road to London. Well, we've got 8 weeks. Can't losing count, but it's getting a bit close, I know that much. But today I just want to talk to you about what I've been doing recently, how's it going, how we're looking, what the plan is for London. So, got a fair bit to talk about, so please don't go anywhere. See you in a sec. Alright, so it's a lovely bright Sunday morning. Nice and chilly, not chilly, but nice cool summer morning. I'm out early enough. I left at 6 o'clock. Hopefully to put in a nice 15-mile long run. That's the plan. Depending on how my body feels. I ain't got many shortcuts home, so I've got to try and make it work. So I just want to talk a little bit about what's been going on recently. If you follow my Strava and whatnot, you probably know a little bit about what's going on, but nothing too exciting. So me and Mikey are training for the London Marathon in about 8 weeks time, maximum 9 weeks. The plan for that day has all along been, as much as I want to go there and try and beat my 3:48, so I'm feeling confident that I can do that at some point. But the best thing to do with the future races I've got coming up, which I'll explain about later, is to go and finish the London Marathon without stopping. Probably a sensible idea anyway. Me and Mike want to get around together also. He's already said to me about, you know, let's slow the pace down and just try and make it round. I think that's a good idea for future training. I can take a nice video of it, get some nice footage of it, and not worry about time. You know, if it's 4 to 4.5 hours, that's cool, we're happy. That's the plan. So basically training at the moment has been just trying to get some miles in. Today will be 40 miles. I've been consistently done like 5 weeks of 35 odd miles average. Last week I did take a full week off for something I'll explain about, but that hasn't stopped me really. I did it for a reason. It might have been pointless in the end. So what was going on? As you've probably recently seen, I've been told I've got flat feet. And since that, man is playing in my head because I've got these little niggling injuries. Some were there way before I even got told about my flat feet. And I'm not 100% sure that's the reason I've got those injuries. But since then, I've been feeling my ankles as well. I had to stop there a bit. I'm on a serious uphill. You can't tell, but this is really up. I did this purposely today around Kirklinton area near where I live. It's hilly and I've got some hill training to do coming up soon. I'm off to Wales next week for a couple of weeks, so stay tuned for some hilly runs there. I've got a special treat as well for there, something I've never done before. You probably guess it. Running up Mount Snowdon. So please hit the bell button so don't miss that. It's going to be a challenge. I can't wait to do it. Get up bright and early, go hit the mountain to the top and run back down. Challenge accepted. I'll be back in a sec when I get my breath. Look at that. Beautiful day out. Look, you can't beat England on a day like this, let me tell you. Beautiful across there. Wildlife. Cow shit. anything you want. Right, as I was saying before I hit that mammoth hill, I'm starting to feel the flat feet in my ankles. I don't know if it's in my head or not, but I can feel the pain on both the inside of my ankles. My left one is especially bad. I just hope it's not something more serious. When I Google it, which you shouldn't do, but you can't just pay to see a doctor every time or a private physio. But it feels like sort of tendonitis in the ankle. I'm not sure if it's that. It's the first niggle I've had. It's more likely to be a bit of strain on it, maybe like an overuse injury, something like that, but I'm managing it. I think all that's sort of down to the aggressiveness of my pronation. It is there. The doctor's seen it, and so is the podiatrist. They really sort of violently go inwards when I step. But since trying to sort that out by using the orthotics and maybe try to compensate for that sort of lean, I think that's maybe where my ankles start to hurt. Maybe I've tried to change too much too quick, or maybe I shouldn't have changed it at all. But time will tell. All I know is that after getting these shoes, I will show you, if I flip the camera, I believe they're called Hoka Arahis or Hararis 5s. They're support shoes, and I feel like they've really done me a job so far. And my short runs to work, 5 miles, I've had the pain slightly there, but it's definitely sort of going away. And I think it's one of those injuries I can manage during training. The reason being, I took a full week off last week. I come back to do my run, and I felt it after 5 miles straight away. But it's easing off now as I've got into these support shoes. It's not making me stop running. It kind of hurts more after. But what I need to do is manage this injury to make sure it doesn't become something chronic. I'm hoping it just fades away. At the same time, you're in that sort of kerfuddle where you don't know if to stop training for 3 weeks and go back and just try and do a marathon, or do you try and train and get rid of it slowly over time and just be fine for the marathon anyway. It's one of those runners' problems that everyone's going to come up to eventually. So thankfully in that week off I took, which was trying to just clear that injury, I didn't lose any fitness, but I'm kind of back to square one with the pain I'm feeling. But the thing for today, in this long run, the 5 mile ones are quite straightforward, you know, and it's a good way to build up mileage for the week without being too much. But the idea of today's 15 miles, hopefully, is to see how those pains are feeling now. I was also struggling with a outer knee problem, runner's knee. I'm managing that today. I've not felt that for a long time, but it's runs like this that you need to, if that starts to creep in now, you know it's still there and you've got to manage it. But really my main concern is at the moment is the ankle, but I can feel it now since I started. It's not got any worse. It's kind of barely there. It's not making me limp, so it's definitely one of those manageable injuries. If it doesn't get worse as you go, then, or it starts to go away as you go, which it has done for this run on a few occasions, then it's manageable. So let's see how we go from there. Let's try and get to London in tip-top shape. But all in all, the flat feet has been a very unwelcomed finding, really. It's good to know what I'm dealing with, but it's crap to know that I've got to deal with it. Do you know what I mean? I've been doing all right for the last, running for 3 years, and I feel like this has just put a bit of a spanner in the works, because all those injuries may have been avoidable, maybe manageable if I'd known before, or better still, just wish I didn't have flat feet. But I'm definitely conscious now. I can feel it rocking in. I'm doing my best to land 4 foot striking now, with my body, my feet right underneath the centre of gravity of my body. So it's more flowing, and that's definitely helping. A lot of those injuries come from overstriding for people that have flat feet, and people in general actually, but flat feet people especially overstride, maybe because of the posture, something like that. But you can't see it really well today. What I'm doing is making sure I'm upright, chest out, being dragged along forward, body nice straight all the way down as the mechanics, with my feet landing right below my body, and sort of targeting the sort of knuckles of my feet, if that makes sense, the hard pads at the front, not tiptoeing, but making sure that's my main sort of impact point. And although it puts a bit of extra pressure on your calves, you have to be careful of that. It also makes a much more sort of smoother run, and takes away the pain off a lot of the rest of your body. You're on the floor for less contact time, and all round just feels much better to do. That's what's working for me, and that's what I'm going to stick with. I've been working on as well during this training for London, not so specifically for that, but for future longer races, is nutrition part. So I've realised I sweat a lot. After MK Marathon, you saw the video, I was struggling like hell. I had a white layer of salt on my face afterwards, so much so you could pick it off, like wow, it's like dust. That's when I suppose I kind of knew before, that's when you realise how much sort of sodium, salt, electrolytes you're losing during a race like that. And that could have like paid me big time in that marathon of how much my legs gave away towards the end. Yeah, maybe I got the pacing wrong. First with a bit that at the start, maybe I went a bit harder than I probably could have managed. But who knows, if I'd have got the food right and the electrolytes better, and who knows, I might not have died a death towards the end of that race. But that's all things you learn from the first marathon. I've learned so much from it. I'm determined to get them right from now. And that goes with London, being able to make it all the way around now will be the next aim. And then I'll have Brighton after that, which I might try and beat my PB there, just without going too mad and forcing on any unwanted injuries. Might just go there, find a nice pace, try and stick to it without it being too difficult. But I've been eating, practicing on getting my gels down at the right time, my electrolytes, water intake, even for these sort of 10-15 mile runs, not for the shorter ones as such, because they're 45 minutes long. Anything more than that, I'm training my stomach to be able to take in a bit of food, or, you know, and just getting ready to digesting it and distributing the energy out, all for these sort of upcoming running races. So I've learned so much, and I'm determined to put it into practice and get better. So I'm 10 miles in, feeling absolutely perfect, I tell you. Not sweating too much, pace intensity is right. It's not to do with pace today at all. Pace, irrelevant. Time on feet, absolutely relevant. My form, my running form is absolutely relevant today too. That's what it's all about today, getting things right, getting around safe and sound. But with the form thing, what I've got is planned for the future video is to get my treadmill out in the garden. I'm going to video myself running on a treadmill just to give it a double check over from the back, the sides, the front, all angles, to make sure your form's good. Because you never really know until you've looked yourself or let someone else look for you, or gone and had it looked at. So that's the plan now, to see how different my run looks now compared to what it was when I was feeling my injuries. Let's see if it's helped. Right, so that is really about it for me. London training's in full swing. 8 weeks to go. My training's going well. Mike's training's going well. We don't do much together. Do the odd Sunday. But so far all good, I think. It's time to ramp up the mileage. I'm going to get a few quality workouts in there. Like I say, managing the injuries. I want people to say why change what isn't working, because it is working. I've been base building for months and months now. Rarely, definitely not going over my 150 and trying to do it near a 145. If it's wafting over that, I know I'm still well in my aerobic. So building base every day. Strength training's coming on, but I'm gonna make a separate video for that because there's something really important I want to talk about with strength training. But that's it for me today. Thank you so much for joining me. Please hit the red button below to watch my future runs and whatnot. And the race is coming up. Don't forget, I've got my ultra marathon next year, which is my main focus right now. So, thanks for joining me. See you on the next one. Stevo runs.